They thought she was weak, invisible. A shadow that passed through school halls unnoticed, but when they backed her into that parking lot, mocking her silence and laughing at her pain, they had no idea they were summoning a storm that had been quietly gathering for years. Subscribe now for more shocking transformations and unmissable stories of unexpected power. Everyone at Crestfield High knew the hierarchy, and it was carved into every hallway. Classroom and lunch table like stone jocks at the top, followed by cheerleaders, the drama kids, the gamers, and way at the bottom, the ones like Alara, gray, quiet, withdrawn, dressed in soft neutrals, always alone. Always staring off into the distance like she was seeing a world far beyond the one they all knew. A world no one else was allowed to enter, because she didn't speak up, didn't fight back, didn't try to fit in. The wolves scented weakness. And for years they toyed with her like she was a broken doll, knocking books from her hands, tripping her in the hallway, whispering cruel jokes behind her back, their leader being Trey, the golden-haired varsity heartthrob whose father had donated half the gym equipment and whose mother ran the PTA with an iron fist. Trey, who thought the world belonged to him and everything in it was just a stage for his arrogance, and beside him always were Lexi, the venom-tongued cheer captain, Jake and Rio, twin towers of testosterone and smug smirks, and Vanessa, who laughed the loudest, but always seemed to glance at Alara like she knew something the others didn't. And maybe she did. Maybe she saw the flicker behind Alara's quiet eyes, the way her fingers curled into her sleeves when she was holding something back, because Alara had secrets and pain, and a rage she had locked away so tightly it had started to change her bones, tighten her muscles, deepen her resolve. But none of them knew that not until that Thursday afternoon when the sky turned gold, and she walked across the parking lot with her headphones in and her sketchbook under her arm, trying to escape early before they saw her. But they saw everything. And Trey called out, "Hey, ghost girl, were you sneaking off too?" And the others followed, their laughter echoing between the parked cars like knives in the air. And she froze, because they always knew when to corner her, when no one else was watching, when no teachers were around. And she turned calmly eyes, shadowed, and said nothing, as always. But something in her face was different. Something electric and dangerous. But Trey didn't see it. Or maybe he saw it and didn't care, because he was invincible, he thought. And he walked right up to her, knocked her sketchbook to the ground. Pages flying open to reveal charcoal drawings, so vivid and dark they made even Lexi pause, and Alara bent slowly to pick them up, hands steady, and said, almost too softly, "Pick them up." And Trey laughed. "What are you going to do if I don't?" "Draw me to death." And the others snorted, even Vanessa, though her smile faltered. And that's when Alara stood up, closed the sketchbook, handed it to Vanessa without breaking eye contact, and whispered, "I've been holding back for years." Then in one fluid motion, faster than they could react, she launched her knee into Trey's gut, spun, and landed a kick that sent him sprawling across the pavement, gasping like a fish out of water, and the world went silent except for the birds and the wind and Lexi's sharp intake of breath, because none of them had seen anything like it. Alara moved like water, like fire, like someone who had studied violence in the quiet of her room for years, and now wielded it like art. And Jake lunged, full of brute strength and blind confidence. But she sidestepped, twisted his arm behind his back, and dropped him in a flash, then ducked under Rio's swing and swept his legs with a precision that left him groaning on the ground. And now it was just Lexi and Vanessa, the former trembling, and the latter staring with something close to awe, and Lexi backed away, muttering insults that sounded weak now, unsure, and Alara stepped forward, silent as death, until Lexi ran, heels clacking like alarm bells, and only Vanessa remained, holding the sketchbook like it was holy, and she whispered, "You could have done this the whole time?" And Alara nodded once, wiped a bit of dirt from her knee, and walked away without another word. And from that day on, the school changed. No one looked at Alara the same again. No one dared cross her path, and rumors spread like wildfire that she trained in secret, that she'd once broken a grown man's ribs, that she could kill with one finger. Not true, but she didn't correct them. And the truth was, she never wanted to hurt anyone. But there comes a point where silence becomes survival, where stillness turns into strength. And though she'd buried her fury for years, it had never gone away, only waited, grown sharper. And now it protected her like armor, and Vanessa started walking with her, asking questions, telling jokes, and Alara slowly let her in, not completely, but enough. And one afternoon, Vanessa asked her why she never fought back before, and Alara stared at the sky for a long moment before replying, because I was afraid of who I'd become if I stopped holding back. And that haunted Vanessa more than anything, because she'd seen what Alara could do in 10 seconds. And she knew deep down that wasn't even the full storm, just a breeze. And somewhere in the back of her mind, Vanessa wondered what would happen if someone pushed Alara again, someone truly dangerous came after her, and whether the girl who once walked invisible through school halls would become something far more terrifying than anyone ever expected. And for now, Alara smiled more, laughed a little, but never lost that edge in her eyes. The one that said, "I remember." And the whispers followed her wherever she went. Not of mockery anymore, but legend of the day the wolves thought they'd cornered the lamb only to find they'd locked themselves in with a lioness. And if you want more jaw-dropping tales of unexpected power, subscribe now and stay tuned, because the quiet ones always have the loudest stories. Asterisk.